Welcome back to my official podcast. This is Gaurav Ayaan, and obviously you guys all have known this that CSK has won this year IPL by beating Kolkata Knight Riders for 27 runs, and they managed to beat Kolkata Knight Riders by 27 runs and have won this match, and they have won this IPL trophy for the fourth time. How what a turnaround that CSK this year has been. Obviously, they have been called as a dad's army, isn't it? Saurabh sir. And in 2018, they have managed to won that IPL. In 2019, they have managed to be runner-up on this 2019 because obviously Mumbai Indians has beaten the Chennai Super King in the 2019 IPL, and they have managed to win that IPL by 1 run. In 2020, obviously CSK finished on the second last, and 2021, what a turnaround, and they have managed to win this year IPL by 27 runs. So we will have a definitely today's discussion with none other than Saurabh sir. Other guests will definitely join in. But first of all, Saurabh sir, welcome back to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav. Happy Dussehra, everyone.
Yes,
And
happy Dashara to everyone. For CSK fan, it's
so
like Diwali.
I guess this has been a tremendous comeback after last year. So in a way, both the
Yes,
finalists, there is a kind of a turnaround because for CSK after last year's debacle and for KKR after the first part of the IPL where nobody gave them a chance, they went up to the finals.
yes,
So only the disappointing part was for any fan or KKR
they
fan
didn't
that there
show
was
fight.
no fight. There
Yes,
was
they
no
didn't
fight.
show
It
fight.
looked to be a completely one-sided, but you have to give it that KKR is a much more undercooked side than CSK because CSK has
Obviously,
played finals. They are much more they're much more senior players. KKR has filled up with five players with no international experience. So
yes,
there plus Andre Russell was not playing. So
yes,
I think for KKR reaching up to the final itself was a great achievement. And hats off to
yes.
CSK. I think MS Dhoni is destined, right? He has certain destiny like 2011
Yes.
World Cup, 2007 World Cup, and I guess this will be his final match in IPL. So he ends with a win.
And who could have thought, sir, that by what happened with the KKR in the first phase of the IPL, who could have thought that KKR will reach to the final?
Yeah, they do not have the team also to reach to the finals. If you look
Yes,
at it, it's only about two, three, four players who have performed. It's not at all a team
yes,
game at all. Dinesh Karthik also did not perform. Morgan also did not perform. Sakibul Hassan actually, Sakibul Hassan, Andrew Russell, that combination did not work at all. Hardly they have worked. So you do not expect teams to actually reach finals like that. Even in our last discussion, I had told that Delhi Capitals is I mean, supposedly should be the best team. They should have reached the finals, but always the best team doesn't reach. So KKR, I think for KKR, reaching the finals itself is a great achievement. And CSK, if you look at it, they have played a complete team game. Means
yes,
in the middle order, they have a problem. I do agree. Like KKR, they also have a problem, but their openers have been far more aggressive and far more consistent than KKR openers. Though
yes.
Venkatesh Iyer in 7 matches has scored 9 matches, he has scored 450s. So I think Venkatesh Iyer, you do not have any question mark. He has actually played beyond expectations. But Subman Gill is nowhere close to what the CSK openers have done because he even
Exactly.
if he has scored 50, his rate has been down. So,
Yes,
so for KKR, at least the openers were batting, but not with that much high run rate. But the other players have not at all performed. You look at Rana, Morgan, Dinesh Karthik, nobody really clicked. So all in all, this was a complete dominant performance by CSK. Probably the team will be disbanded, right? You will not have Dhoni, not have Rana, not have Raidu going forward. So we will have a complete different setup with probably Dhoni getting the mentor's role from next year. So in a way, generation coming to an end for CSK, and something new will come up from next year.
okay. Let's start with this. First of all, the batting of the CSK. Obviously, you mentioned that most of the time it's the CSK opener who has managed to score a lot of runs for the CSK, and it's nothing new. People, once you see the role of an opener has changed, once you see CSK batting lineup, people expect opener to bat around till 10 or even 11 overs. But most of the CSK batsmen, most of the CSK openers probably, you see that they are batting till the 18th or 20th over. Once you see Faf du Plessis today, he batted till the 20th over, isn't it? So the role has
Yeah,
changed
of
for
course.
an opener. Not like that you have
Absolutely.
to bat only 10 overs.
No, absolutely. Because more so because CSK has a dicey middle order. Right from
Yes,
3 to number 7, you do not know. They can also fall like a pack of cards. So that is why
exactly.
that one of the batsmen has to play till the end. And
Yes.
even if you look at that Faf du Plessis played till the end, to be very fair, there were two players in between, right? Uthappa and Moeen Ali. If they
Moeen Ali.
wouldn't have followed that intensity, they wouldn't have scored 190 because Faf
No
du Plessis
doubt about
alone
it.
wouldn't have been able to take. Especially
No.
Uthappa. He was hitting the ball, the sound was coming. I was feeling
Wow.
like 2014. The way he
Yes.
actually he won the orange cap that time for KKR. So though Faf du Plessis played, I think the key roles were played by Moeen Ali and Uthappa because both of them hit at more than 200 runs, the strike rate, and that made the big difference. Before the start of the match, I was in another show in YouTube, and there I had told that 170 will give you a very close match. But once it was 190, I think this was already the match was out of hand of KKR. Hi
Welcome
Preeti,
back.
how are you? Happy this is the
Hi,
Welcome back to
yay, CSK wins. Woohoo! I'm
yes.
so happy, man. We were Gaurav and myself from the very beginning. We were like CSK all the way, baby, and we came good. We made it.
I told you CSK will win this year. We have waited enough, isn't it?
Yes, and perfect fairy tale ending for Mahi, and just whatever happens from here, his legacy is etched in stone, and I think that's what this was about anyway, at least as far as I'm concerned. So happy. What a perfect game, right? It was like a
Yeah.
perfect final in many ways.
But the game didn't gone to the last over. That was the most disappointing part. But being a CSK fan, it was quite an easy match for us, isn't it?
Yes, but we had some hiccups, remember, after that first dropped catch of Iyer. Ooh, and then there were a couple of fielding mishaps, I think, in the very beginning, and they had momentum. They had a game plan. They were going along, but then, of course, such a huge total. Always their scoreboard pressure, and this wicket is got harder to make runs. I think
Yes,
towards
obviously.
the beginning. Actually, it was a great toss to lose, I would say, for MS.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But we have discussed this. Obviously, the team that reached final, they have to prepare for everything. You can't depend it on the toss, isn't it? Saurabh, sir, go ahead.
yeah, because see, I think KKR wanted to chase. So, anyways,
Yes.
that was fine. But you have to realize that DK made a big mistake of missing the stumping of Faf du Plessis when he was in 2 runs. So, then you
Yes.
had Varun making mistakes of no balls. So as Gavaskar was telling, right, that you control the controllables, like spinner bowling no balls,
Yes.
all these things are within your control. So I think they scored 20 runs too many to make the match competitive. If it was 170, you could have seen a closer kind of
Yes.
a match. But
Yes.
still, with Mahi, you know that 170 also he knows how to put you under pressure. So only
Yes.
way was possible was like 2012. 2012, what happened? Like the intensity never stopped from Bisla. So here
Yes.
also they would have needed Venkatesh Iyer to score a century. Then probably only KKR could have done it. But otherwise, this is just another match. And I think, as I was telling right at the upfront of the show, that for KKR reaching the finals itself is a huge
Yeah.
Big
achievement.
win.
It was a four-man team which was working. So four-man team never wins a cup. So I think deservedly CSK has won.
Saurabh sir, I was just watching some of the stats given by some of my KKR mates, and they told me that you know what? once KKR have won this IPL 2 times, and they have managed to score 190 plus while chasing once they have won this two time in a row, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
because
think two
even
months
the
ago,
first time when they beat CSK the first time, they had to chase 192. So this time it was
yes,
193. So everything was going according to script. But I think they did not have the Bisla. So
yes,
Bisla's role
Manvit
was
Bisla
supposed to
was.
be done by Venkatesh Iyer. And they started
Yes.
also well, right? In 10 overs, 90 runs was not bad start. But Venkatesh Iyer
Yeah,
needed to continue because there is a non-existent middle order. He could have sent Mavi at number 3 in place of sending
Yeah.
Rana, Morgan, and all these players.
Saurabh sir has been going going too much with this Nitish Rana because obviously he's not been very happy with this Nitish Rana form right from the start, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, Rana, Morgan, DK.
Yeah.
I do not know. You need a complete wholesale change of the KKR team, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah, they're lucky
let's.
to be in the finals,
Okay.
to be honest. It's a like you said, it's a four-man team. Got three matches, three crucial matches in Sharjah, which suited them, and very lucky to beat a very informed DC, I would say. And even RCB, to be honest, when you look at the whole team, even RCB would be slightly better than KKR, but they delivered when it counted because those conditions suited them. But on neutral surfaces like this one, uh, I think their whole um, team and all their flaws, everything it came exposed for the whole world to see. They sort of really came unraveled, and it wasn't panic. This is their quality. This is actually what this team really is about. And I think they played out of their mind before to get to this point, and probably got a little bit lucky too in some matches. But this is, it was a fair game. I think not a there were no controversial decisions, well, other than that drone catch and all of
Spider
that,
Cam.
right?
Spider.
And I mean, it was a fair game, and CSK won this decisively and fair and square, right? Because some finals, they're dodgy and the one ball difference, and you always think about it. But nobody's going to lose any sleep, I think, as far as uh, that it was the right team that deserved to win that won. And I'm just so happy. It is really a fairy tale ending, I think, for CSK.
Yeah.
सौरभ सर एक और केकेआर के दोस्त ने मुझे आज सुबह ही मैसेज किया था उन्होंने बोला कि पता है केकेआर आज जीतने वाला क्योंकि वो काफी पीछे से आने वाला है काफी पीछे से वो आ रहा है ऊपर तक तो मैंने बोला हाँ बिल्कुल सही बात है लेकिन आप भूलो मत सीएसके उससे भी पीछे से आ रही है 2020 में सेकंड लास्ट आई थी
That is what I said. Now, for both the teams, this is a kind of a
यस
redemption because for CSK from last year's pretty bad scenario, they are winning the cup, and for KKR, nobody really thought of even for me, I was thinking like if they end up fifth, also it's a huge achievement. So from
यस
there, you are reaching the finals. I think with this team, right, as KKR fans, you will always want them to win, but the thing is that reaching the finals itself is not a bad performance. You have to give it
Hmm.
to them, especially the turnaround. And with your main players, right, Morgan and DK not playing, means not playing up to their capacity, Andre Russell not in the team, and they have reached the finals, then you can't expect anything more. The management has to change the team completely. You need better players for them to perform. So hopefully they will do that in the next auction.
Sir, let's start with the CSK batting first. Obviously, we have discussed how Faf du Plessis was brilliant today, but the inning that Robin and Moeen Ali played was quite
Yes.
marvelous, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
because
yeah. Sorry.
yeah. So as I was telling that Faf du Plessis might end up getting the man of the match, but to take them to 190, Robin Uthappa and Moeen Ali played a very
Yes.
big role. Otherwise, it would have been around 175, and the
And
match
it
might have become
would have been
dicey.
tighter. And like that Shardul, oof, wow. First time I've seen Mahi get that upset at somebody on the field. He usually does not go off at anyone, but you could see. I mean, everybody was getting really they were losing it, right? It's like there's no need for any of that. We got this. We are, they're almost home, 50-run difference. What are you trying to do? And I honestly don't know what he was trying to do. And I mean, that's how these matches could go. If they didn't have such a big lead, I think it would have been tight and few screw ups like this, and the match really goes the other way. So but yes, Faf, I think he obviously he will get the man of the match, I think. But Robin and Moeen, I think, accelerated it and took it to
Yes.
as much as they could. In fact, they probably could have got to 200 if it wasn't for that wicket of Faf, right? The very last ball. And I don't know what's gonna who's gonna be awarded this, but I'm pretty sure that the man of the tournament for me was Gaikwad. I'm would be very surprised if he doesn't win that award.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think the man of
Uh,
the series award, I don't know how it works, but most probably it will go to Harshal Patel because Harshal Patel has the
Ah,
maximum
I
number of
don't know.
points.
I would say he's getting purple cap anyway, right? I
Yeah.
think, look, the man of the tournament has got to be, usually is from either the winning side or the finalist, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, for you to win, saying that you were the best player, you would have had to taken your team either to a victory or close to it. I'm thinking it's going to be Gaikwad, but let's see.
Yeah, because they have some pointing system. I think I saw Harshal Patel at the top, most probably, on that.
Oh, interesting.
okay.
So
I think that you
I
point.
think one of the
You said
biggest
the point.
things that Mahi lost his mind about Shardul Thakur had a lot to do with that he is becoming a mentor from tomorrow, right, for the Indian team.
Yes,
Yes.
And
yes,
I guess he did the backing, he gave the backing to put Shardul Thakur back in the top 15.
I think
And
so.
this fellow is now going and going full tosses and going for sixes. Now he must be thinking, what the hell? I got this man into the
Like I
team and now
vouch for
he's
you. Don't.
yeah.
And actually, Chahar did very well in this match. To be
Yeah.
honest, Shardul Thakur took crucial wickets. They are both also hugely responsible for the win today.
Yeah.
Absolute. I mean, the bowling was fantastic. But
Yeah.
no,
And
I get your I get your point. He's like, I got you guys in. Don't screw this up for me.
yeah. And Shardul Thakur always hunt in pairs. Like in a over, he will pick up 2 wickets. Even in
Nice.
test
Yes.
matches, he does that. So we hope that in against Pakistan, he does that as well.
Okay. Sir, once KKR has started to chase this 190 score, in the first 10 overs, it looked like that 2012 final will repeat itself. That obviously, once they, I think Mahendra Singh Dhoni dropped the catch of Venkatesh Iyer, and that spider cam catch that didn't
Yes.
counted as the wicket once Shubman Gill hit the ball in the air. So in the first 10 overs, all the things were going right things for the right for the KKR, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked like 2012 revisited. And as I said, somebody had to play a blinder like Bisla did in 2012. And Venkatesh
Yes.
Iyer was supposed to be that man. But as soon as Venkatesh Iyer got out, right, I knew the procession will start. Whatever happens, the procession is going to start. And that's what happened. And even Tripathi was injured, so that was a bad luck for them as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
overall, it was means there is a non-existent middle order for KKR. You just need to take the first wicket. So I'm very happy for Venkatesh Iyer that he seems to be a very good find for India.
Yes.
So each IPL give us some kind of a new player, right? Ruturaj Gaikwad, of course, we saw him last year. He has already got chance in India Sri Lanka series, so we already
Mm.
knew him. But this IPL, we have got two players. One is Aves Khan,
Mhm.
and one is Venkatesh Iyer. These are two players, along with Harshal Patel again reimposing himself that he should be looked into as a Indian player as well. So good for Indian cricket because you are getting these new players. That is very
Yeah.
exciting.
Well, that's the
And so,
reason for IPL, right? I think some of these, when I interact with the non-Indian people on Twitter and social media, I get the sense that they don't realize that IPL is a domestic Indian tournament, and it's specifically made, to nurture young Indian players, and they think it's some big international thing where all the stars come and play, and it's like it's not about them. It's actually for the Harshal Patels and the Bishnois and so on, Abdul Samad and all those wonderful players. And maybe in the past IPLs there was more focus on some of these big names
Foreign.
internationally and
Yeah.
doing so well, especially with like in the bowling department. But this is one IPL I think where I would say that the Indian players out
played played the
played their
foreigners. Yeah,
absolutely. And in fact, if you look at the five worst players, they're all international players,
yeah.
right?
I
Yeah, and
think
that's a
apart
big
from Glenn
win
And
for
Maxwell,
I think
whatever.
this is the first time that the orange cap and purple cap both is going to the Indians. I don't
Yes.
and
think
sir,
it
apart
has
from
happened
Glenn
ever.
Maxwell, any player hasn't performed from the international cricket, isn't it? I'm talking about foreign
Yeah,
player. Apart from
nobody.
Glenn Maxwell, none of them has performed.
And Fab Duplessis and
Other
Fab
Yes,
than
Fab du
Duplessis.
Plessis.
Faf, Bravo,
Yeah.
Faf, Bravo, yeah, that's about it.
And so once I started talking about the Kolkata Knight Riders batting more, the problem still remains the same. And we have discussed this thing a lot. That Shubman Gill looks a fine player once he chased down the score of 130 and 140, isn't it?
Yeah, means it's something that he needs to work upon, because if he wants to have a all format career, we know he will have a good
Yeah.
career in Test cricket. But if he wants a all format career, then he needs to up the ante in when he opens, or otherwise he has to come back at number 6 or 7, because you
Yeah.
cannot waste so many balls and you keep it at 110 to 115 strike rate. Your
No.
strike rate need to be above 125. So he needs to work on that cricket, that part of his cricket. But to be fair, at least he is playing. But if your middle order is playing in that format, it is very difficult. So KKR has a lot of work to do in permutation combination. Probably they need a better analyst who can prepare those Excel sheets that how much I should spend. I do not end up spending 15 crores for an international bowler. Then I can keep some money for the others.
So which analyst you are talking about? That analyst who helps Ian Morgan to say that which
You
bowler should
know, I
bowl.
have to say, I was just hoping that KKR doesn't win only because of the fact that so much of the captaincy was happening off the field, and
Yes.
these people putting. Look, that should be banned. It should be not allowed. Teams should be fined or take points taken off. Like you can't do that. It's an unfair advantage. The captain on the field needs to think of these things in his head, just like every other captain does. And I don't think it's fair that he keeps turning. It's like in tennis, a player keeps turning to the coach, and the coach is saying, "Go here, go there." It's nobody else does that, right? I was very put off by that. And if they had won today, I think it would have been very sour and not cool for the game. So I'm one. That's one of the reasons I think I'm happy that that didn't happen, because then we would have this strange situation where it's like not exactly kosher everything. Um, so hopefully there will be some rules around that, because obviously people can see what's going on. I'm sure there will be some noises being made about that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess means playing through the rule books, because that is not part of the MCC manual, so people can take those lines. Like I think the 1999 World Cup, I have seen Bob Ulmer and Hansi Cronier doing that. They had that earpiece. They
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
yeah, he was there in the earpiece,
That's
and there was a
worse.
lot of
That's even
controversy.
worse, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that KKR can do, which they should do, is that to retain Subman Gill and make him the captain, just like Shreyas Iyer for Delhi Capitals. Give him that for the next 5 years. You are a young player. You will be there with us. I think that is what will help them. That they are not forced to play a player like Morgan. So here they were forced to play. Like Tim
Yeah.
Seifert did not even get a chance. So they
Yes.
could have always given a chance to Tim Seifert if Morgan was not a captain. So I think
Okay.
foreigner captain will always be a difficult thing in IPL.
Yes.
So they should think about it. All teams should think about it.
This is my I don't know how both of you feel about this, but I think one of the new rules for the IPL should be, I mean, the coach can be from wherever, but I think all captains should be Indian.
Yeah.
Not just because it's more cohesive, but come on, it's the Indian Premier League. I just think bazaar to. Um, I just don't think it's right. I think it's the Indian Premier League, and you can have, I don't know, some people want to increase to from 4 to 5. I don't know about that. I think 4 is fine, maybe, but I think the captain should be Indian. Maybe you can have a vice captain that's international. I just don't think it's a good look to have several international captains in an Indian tournament, because that wouldn't happen anywhere else, right? So why
Yeah.
should it
It
happen
doesn't
here?
happen in Australia, but in the
Yes,
other countries it's happening.
correct.
But I think another important matter, like in the corporate world, we have seen that we groom leaders, right? Like we
Yes.
make the managers, we have this leadership program. So IPL should be a grooming ground for new leadership for India also. Like if I am grooming Subban Gill, Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant as
Hmm.
future leaders of India, then IPL is the grooming ground. So if Subman Gill is supposed to be a captain of India after say 8 years or 6 years, then he should be groomed in IPL. So that is how you will get the future leaders. So it is far better that you start investing. I think Delhi Capitals have done fantastic with the Indian setup. KKR actually backed the Indian players, but only
Yes,
thing that they went wrong is that making Morgan the captain. So
I
probably
agree.
they can
And
change it to Subman Gill to make the captain next year.
they should have given it back to Karthik at the beginning of the
He was not
UAE. Like
interested.
they should have done.
Yeah.
Not that he's any better, but I mean, at least he can communicate with the bowlers, right? And I think he's a pretty good anchor. I really like him. I think he's a cool head. He's a good guy. He can. When that situation happened between Ashwin and Morgan, he spoke to Ashwin in Tamil. He was like, come, it's
Mhm.
okay, it's okay. That, I think Ashwin needed to hear that from someone, right? So you need those moments, I think. And Karthik is a mature, cool head, right? But I think his IPL career, honestly, is I think pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's over.
I don't
Yeah.
see him coming back. Yeah.
I think couple of things I need from next year in IPL, as I said, that the Indian captain, and another is that you should have in the 21 a couple of local players. Like Chennai doesn't have a player from
Yes,
Tamil Nadu, KKR doesn't have a player from Bengal. I think that's wrong. You get two players, no, because you have
I
this
like this.
means Mohammad Sami is from Bengal. You have this Sabaz Ahmed, he's from Bengal. Riddhiman Shah is from Bengal. So you have to choose two players from the Bengal setup. In that way, it actually helps the connection, right? People who are in Bengal, I am very sure the same thing is for the people who are in Chennai. So if I'm Bengal and I see that Bengal players are part of the KKR setup, you create a better cohesive unit, because here probably for the last 2 years the tournament is happening in Dubai, but when it
Yeah.
happens back in India in Kolkata, you will require the local players to play. So even like for Chennai, they should actually try and get Ashwin back, probably make
Yes,
Ashwin the
I think
captain.
Ashwin was very happy in Chennai. I don't think he's that happy in Delhi. I
Yeah,
don't
and
think
they
they're.
will need a
Yeah.
new captain. So probably Ashwin is a very good captaincy material for Chennai next year.
Yeah.
By the way, Gigi predicted as that obviously Delhi Capitals will take Ravichandra Ashwin as a captain. God knows about his
Yeah.
prediction. Everyone knows about his prediction.
He's a
Okay,
good
let's.
captain material wherever he
Yes,
goes.
obviously.
Delhi is also not a bad place for him. Delhi is an upcoming team that is going to win in the future, and they got future leaders for Indian cricket in their team, which is very important. Actually, the KKR side did too. So
Yeah.
big shuffle next year. It's all these teams are going to be unrecognizable.
Yeah. No
That's why it
Dhoni,
was
no
important to
captain,
win this.
as means Virat Kohli will not be a captain. So there will be a lot of different things happening. Interesting
Okay,
times ahead.
let's come back to the match. Obviously, KKR has definitely missed Andre Russell today, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think this kind of a match, he was a guy who can change it in 10 balls. So
Wow.
100%. That is what he showed couple of years back. Now what he is in form, I don't know. You never know in World T20 he will again get back his form. So, uh, but I think let's face it, Andre Russell has not performed that well this year. So
Mm.
this was destined for CSK. CSK has done well and they have won this tournament. And people will miss. There will be lots of ifs and buts. Aisa karte, aisa karte.
Yeah.
But finally, that doesn't work in cricket. If it was 1 or 2 runs, it was a different matter. With
Yeah.
this kind of a difference, you have to give it that CSK played well in all departments of the game. Well played by Varun and Venkatesh Iyer, two very good performers from KKR, but otherwise CSK deserved winners.
And also, isn't it funny? Narine did not fire today. He has fired almost in every match.
Yeah,
Yes.
These conditions, the mystery spinners did not come into play. And I have to say, ironically, the man of the match was Ferguson. Think we're forgetting about him. He
yeah,
really gave them a huge boost.
yeah.
It's a lot of runs to leak.
No, I
Yes.
think this is where I think Morgan as a captain was also found wanting. He
Yes.
Yes.
has no faith to Venkatesh Iyer as a bowler. Means
Yes.
you should give Venkatesh Iyer a couple of overs. He bowled 1 over for 5 runs. You still went back to Ferguson and he leaked away 21
Why
runs.
did you give him the fourth over after he leaked a ton? That fourth
Yeah,
over was unnecessary, right? He
yeah,
should not have gotten a fourth over after that. He's not getting his line right.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously, it's not his day, right? Why would
So
you go
this
back
is the
to him?
problem. This is the problem of having foreign captains in the Indian Premier League. So uh, I don't know. The think
But the
tank had a little
Morgan
bit of problem.
Morgan keeps on doing the same mistake again and again. It's nothing new because obviously once you follow England cricket team, the England T20 team, Chris Jordan always been an expensive bowler in the T20
Ah,
cricket, but you always back him no matter what.
Mm. See,
So
I
nothing
think
new.
English team and the IPL team is a little different because
yes.
England has a kind of a batting setup where you score something and they will end up scoring more than that because of the
Yeah.
highly good opening partnership, and then Ben Stokes, they bat up to number 9. It's a very, very professional setup. Means without
Mm.
Ben Stokes, it's a dicey team, but with Ben Stokes, that team is a very solid team. So they think like, okay, you score 190, I will score 200. But it's not same with KKR. KKR is not that kind of a team like England cricket team.
Okay. So before we wrap this show, obviously once for the final time for the IPL show, let's move forward to our next segment called hit and miss. So who was according to was hit, sir, and who was according to was missed today, sir? Saurabh, sir, go ahead, and I will
Yeah,
ask the
see,
same question to Priti ma'am also.
yeah, the hit was Fab du Plessis and miss was Ferguson.
Okay, Priti ma'am.
Uh, yes, absolutely. Faf hit and miss. Oh, there are many misses. I'm gonna say Morgan actually, not just the form, but the just overall.
Captainship. Yeah.
Yeah, it-
And sir, fine for
Actually,
the tournament,
because
sir.
of Morgan, I have seen this happening that means good Twitter friends calling KKR as East India Company. I went into a tiff with one of the guys there. Uh,
wow.
so,
Yeah.
and it's all because of Morgan. I then wrote to him that, see, Morgan doesn't define KKR. I am a
Yeah.
KKR fan. So I
Yeah.
think that was a wrong statement. But because of Morgan, there has been a lot of that anti KKR thing that has happened. So it
Mm.
is good for Shahrukh Khan and Venki Mysore to actually drop him and get a better leader who is Indian. I think that is the primary goal that they should have next year. That get an Indian captain.
And by the way, from all of the four wins, both of you, where does this win rate? Would you say this was the most spectacular one? Was it the most precious one, or because I don't remember those other finals, to compare.
I think if you ask me, this one was quite special because obviously it has been obviously in the 3 or 4 years it has been called as a dad army. Obviously in 2018 we have won this for the first time after getting banned for 2 years. Obviously in 2019 we were the runner up if I'm not wrong. In 2020 we finished second last. In 2021 we are back again to be winning this
Mhm.
year IPL. So that is quite a special moment for me. And this year IPL will be I will rate one of the best for being a CSK fan. Saurabh sir.
For
Wow.
me, I think if you check my blogs, when I did the SWOT analysis in the month of May, I
Wow.
had given no chance to CSK. I did not feel that
Oh,
Nobody,
CSK will
nobody has
reach
given a
the.
chance. Nobody has
Yeah,
given a
but
chance to CSK.
well,
so
except fans like us, like except
yeah,
people who were not doing SWOT analysis, I guess.
yeah.
You know,
Yes,
I didn't
yes.
do
So
a
I
SWOT
never
analysis.
found, I never saw that means both Ruturaj Gaikwad and Fab du Plessis are going to be number one, number two in orange cap. I
Nobody had
felt,
thought that.
yeah, yeah,
Nobody. Yeah.
yeah. So that is
And
why
and it
I think this is the best win for CSK, definitely.
and it was quite surprised that in 2020 IPL, this was the first time that CSK didn't reach to the playoffs. And in
Yeah,
the 2020, before watching the 2020 IPL, people, in 2021, people nobody has counted CSK to that they will be playing finals or even they will be reaching to the playoffs just because there was the 2020 IPL, and that
yeah.
was the only IPL that they didn't manage to reach the playoffs. Just imagine.
Yeah.
And this
2020
is
was
not
the
the
Black
best
Swan
team.
event,
Yeah.
right? It was a Black Swan event. And you should disregard that year instead of like what people seem to be doing is all they're seeing is 2020. And it's the
Yes,
opposite, you know, discard it and look at the other, you know, 11 years or 13 years, all the finals, the championships, all of that. And then you have basically probably the most spectacular team, I would say, even though MI has won one more. I just think that CSK is the IPL, right? The
Yeah,
brand of
and
CSK is,
there is a lot of other things as well, like CSK. This team of CSK, it is not like a team which, on paper, at the start of the tournament, people will think, okay, they are going to win. It
yeah,
didn't look like that kind of a team, and this stamps MS Dhoni's captainship. That
yes.
MS Dhoni as a leader, that he can make an average team win a tournament.
But
That
they're
is
not
what I
average
great.
though. It's a team full of superstars, right? Even Raina, Raidu, all these people are the
That is
great.
what I'm trying to say. That Raina, Raidu, Dhoni, Bravo, these are all
Yes,
like retired cricketers. So
yes,
make those team, and then you have a few youngsters like Ruturaj Gaikwad.
yeah.
Even Fab du
Chahar.
Plessis is a retired cricketer. So you have five retired cricketers and a couple of youngsters to actually win world's best uh, franchise best cricket is is something that on which a web series should be made in Netflix.
yes.
Wow.
Definitely, you think of it as a story. If you think of it as a story, you
Yes.
can actually come up with a script. That in 2020 they were almost at the end. Only due to the last two matches they finished at seventh. Otherwise, they would have finished eighth. And from there, next year they went go on and winning the tournament.
With
So
the same
this is,
team,
Yeah.
pretty much.
yeah, pretty much the same
I
team.
think they have dropped
So
Kedar Jadhav and Piyush Chawla in
yeah,
the
and they
2020
got
IPL.
Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali made a
Yes.
big difference.
And Sam
That's
And
a
and
Robin
and
Uthappa. They have
and
traded
also
Robin
I think
Uthappa.
the
Robin
big
Uthappa.
the bigger point here is that form never goes out of style. They may be retired, but they are the greats, and the greats of the game can beat anyone on any given day, and they never lose that winning touch. And they just needed a magician like Dhoni to inspire them, which he did, and they were inspired. I think it's the beauty of, if you have it, you have it. If you don't have it,
Yeah.
you don't have it. You know.
Yeah, so I
And
am
if
a
I
big
ever met
fan of
MS,
like
Dhoni,
Jim
if I
Collins.
ever met MS Dhoni ever in my life, I want to ask him that was Suresh Raina injured or was out of the team? Was he dropped?
That was a very good decision. I'm proud that MS did that because I know he's close to Reina. I know they're so close, but he knew that you had to get Robin. Robin is in good form and he's hitting it and whacking it, and we needed his strike rates. And honestly, if there was Reina today, they would have struggled. You know.
I think we are done for the day. Thank you, Saurabh. So thank you, Preeti ma'am. It was a pleasure talking to you. Hope we will meet whenever the right times. Whenever hopefully India wins the T20 World Cup, we will be back again, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Till then, guys, do
Congratulations
like
to
Yeah,
this.
thank
CSK
you,
fans
everyone.
again. Woo.
Yeah, good night.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys. Do
guys.
like the video.
Night.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Till then, we will meet another time.